I did the pre-release, so I've got a bit more experience with the set. I don't think that Moldgrath's monstrosity is as good as I thought it would be. I was kind of disappointed with that. It's basically just a fatty. I don't trust it yet. It might turn out to be better, but for now, I'm not going to be first picking that anymore until I see it a couple times. What I will be first picking though is Unburial Rites. I've seen that do some pretty nasty stuff. Being able to bring something back from the graveyard twice is pretty awesome. I'm going to look at the rest of the picks though. These are just some pretty basic cards here. Corpse Lunge is pretty decent, I think. It's not reliable enough to be first pickable. If it's removal, you're going to want to be able to kill something every time, and you just can't do that with that. Sometimes you don't have a full graveyard. And the Voiceless Spirit does some pretty decent work. There's a lot of flying play going on here in this set, but it's not first pick worthy. Maybe second or third. I'm not sure. Unburial Rites. I've just seen some nasty stuff happen with that. So yeah, let's see if we can go into black now. What's this card do? I don't know all the rares. Oh, cool. That's interesting. Maybe that's pickable. There's a whole lot of red in this pack though, so I gotta watch out for that. He's pretty decent. I like the air. You get him in a couple hits and you get him up pretty beefy. We got another creature here. It's not that great. That's pretty crappy removal there. Crappy 1/1. Not a big fan of the Sentry. 4 mana for unreliable 5/4 just doesn't cut it for me. But it's a solid pick. I'm sure it'll go in your deck, but not right now. I'll pick it up later if I end up in white. Geist Catcher's Rig, another one of those later pick cards. I'll see if there's anything else in this pack. There's plenty of flying creatures to kill, so it's usually going to hit something, but 6 mana is pretty late. I'm not sure if I want to pick that yet. And there's another Unburial Rites. I might pick that. I want to make sure there's nothing else here, though. Yep, I think I'm going to pick the Rites. I might be overvaluing it at this point. I'm not sure. At the pre-release, the guy that won the finals, he just kept bringing creatures back, just continually throwing creatures at me. I'd kill them, and then they'd come back, and there's enter the battlefield abilities that trigger with that. And it just gets ridiculous being able to cast the same creature 3 or 4 times in a row. So I'm looking at kind of black, white, red. Those are the 3 colors I'm going to want to look at. Maniac's kind of neat, but mostly he's just a 3 mana 2/2. The other ability's not really relevant. And I'm not sure about the Spirit because I need to make sure I can lock down the board first before I want to pick that. And the Chapelgeist is actually really good at doing that. He's got the high toughness early game. There's a lot of 2/2s that he can block, so I like having him. So the pick here is either the Chapelgeist or the Harvest Pyre, or the Village Bellringer. And I don't want to pick the Harvest Pyre because I don't trust the set yet. I'm not sure how fast you're going to get cards in the graveyard, and it doesn't seem like your graveyard stacks up that quickly, so you probably won't be able to burn anything too significantly. the Village Bellringer I've seen do some pretty nasty stuff, so that's what I'm going to pick. And it's also easier to splash. I'm not sure how heavily I want to go into white yet. Later in the draft, I'll probably pick up another one of those spirits, but not for now. The mask is kind of nice. I'm going to look at black, white, and red first. Solid 3 mana, 3/2. Draw card spell. It's an instant, which is cool. So chump blocking is relevant. You chump block and then sack it for cards. But I'd much rather have the equipment, honestly. Feeling of Dread, I don't like that kind of effect. I don't like cards like Ghostly Possession. I like it from a design standpoint. It looks like a fun card. But I'm just not sure how powerful it is yet. So I'm sure that equipment is good, so I want that. And there's that Sentry again, so I am going to see those. But I don't want it right now. I'd much rather have the removal. It's kind of inconsistent. I need a big creature, and I worry most about the small evasive creatures. Those are the toughest to take care of. And Smite the Monstrous just can't do anything about them. But it doesn't look like there's anything else in this pack. I got a lot of crap for picking the Spare from Evil pack 1, pick 2. And I totally deserved it. It's not as good as I thought it was. It's just, I don't know. I thought it would be creating blowouts, but the board doesn't lock up fast enough. I thought there would be a whole lot of critters on the board, and there just usually isn't. It's usually 1 or 2 creatures just dueling it out, and that just you don't want protection at that point. Here, I don't see anything I really want. That's a nice kind of neat trick. Make a wish. I don't want to start going into new colors yet. And Wooden Stake isn't worth it when there's the Night Revelers. I think they're just a solid creature, so I'm going to pick that. It's a good body. We got a little bit of fixing here, but that's blue-red. I don't have any blue. I don't have any want for that, so I'm not going to pick that. And that's another crappy 1/1. There aren't enough creatures that like to be sacrificed that this is a good card. But Unruly Mob seems kind of nice. I might pick that. You need at least 2 or 3 creatures to make it worthwhile, though. You just don't want to have that 1/1 sitting around. Actually, you know what? I don't want that 1/1 sticking around, so I'm going to pick the Lifelink. I like Giant Leap in M12, so that's basically the same thing with a bit of life gain without the flying. There's that Bramble Crush again. And there's a whole lot of green here. But I think now's the time to pick up the Sentry. Unless that's... no, that's not a good card. The One-Eyed Scarecrow would be a whole lot better if that had reach. A 2/3 defender just isn't going to be doing much. And I guess the -1, -0 is interesting, but there's not a whole lot of flying combat going on. Usually if your flying creatures are smacking up against each other, one of them's going to die. Vampiric Fury, I don't have enough vampires to make that pick yet. There's that. I don't like the 1/1s. They got to have at least 2 to make me pick them. So I think I'll pick the Aura. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's a cool card, but it's just way too fragile. It's not. You're going to get 2 for 1 if you cast that. So I'm going to try to stay away from playing it. But it's probably good for signaling purposes, I guess. Same thing with Feeling of Dread. I guess it's possible to play those 2 cards, Feeling of Dread and Furor of the Bitten, but I'm not going to be happy about it. And here I got a nice solid 2/2 Bear here. A little bit of Enchantment Hate tacked on the end there, but mostly I'm going to be using it for attacking and blocking a little bit. And there's another Aura that I'm not going to want. Another Aura. I just don't like them. I definitely think white's one of the better colors in this set. I said that before, and I think that still holds true. It's just it's a good color. It's got the beaters, it's got the evasive, it's got the mid-range fat creatures, the 5/4 sentry, and it's got the removal. It's got everything you want in a draft deck. That card's surprisingly bad. I thought I'd be able to be casting enough humans that it would make it relevant, but mostly humans are 3-mana creatures like the Bell Ringer, or there's an Elder there's an Elder that does that's a human. I forget what exactly what it does, but they're mostly 2 3-mana cards, so you're not going to be dumping your hand. You're not going to be dumping a bunch of stuff on the board. So here I'm looking at either Bonds of Faith or Village Bellringer, or Deadweight, I suppose. I guess I'm trying to be white right now. Bonds of Faith is basically a pacifism. It's got other stuff though. It can pump your humans. I think I'm going to grab that. Pacifism is always nice. It's not exactly as consistent as I'd like, but it's decent. It's good removal. Not a big fan of the sacrifice ability, so Tribute to Hunger probably is going to be the pick here. There's another Deadweight. I think I'm going to grab it this time. I don't see anything else I want. The Elder Cathar is nice, but Deadweight's just so much nicer. Especially when compared to Tribute to Hunger. 1 mana, and it kills the whichever creature you want instead of making them sacrifice it. It's really nice. And we got more white here. Cloistered Youth, solid creature. 2 mana, turns into a 3/3. Let's see. Alright. It's pretty much puts you into the beatdown strategy immediately, though. You can't have you just can't have a control deck with a Cloistered Youth, because it's gonna take down your life pretty fast. And I'm gonna pick up the priest here. I'm doing a lot of non-human hate, so I'm just gonna hope that my opponents aren't playing humans. I've noticed that that's a theme in this set. You got a bunch of humans that like to help their stuff, and I'm not sure how big of a theme it is yet. I just know that it exists. There we go. That's another one of those crap rares. Okay, so it looks like we're kind of out of white. I might pick the Sentry, but I want to make sure that there's something else in the pack. Claustrophobia is kind of nice. I might grab that. Yeah, I'm going to hate draft the Claustrophobia. It's just it's a pacifism, basically, except it also screws